I'm incredibly excited to be part of this film, and I think this is a film that is a story that needs to be told. It's a new narrative for a new generation, and it's one that empowers us to feel like we can play a role in reshaping our world and reshaping the future that we have. So I'm so thrilled that this is a film that is taking off around the world. I've seen this film have a huge impact. I've seen it really hit the heart of a lot of young people. I think this is a film that tells a different story. It's not the story where our world is just completely in crisis mode and we basically have no hope in hell. That's the story we get told on a daily basis. This is a new narrative. This is a narrative that shows that young people are making a difference. They're out there in folds, they're changing the world, and they're doing it through a wide variety, through art, through their voice, through documentary film, and through planting trees. As simple as that is, there's just so many of us out there that are trying to create a new story for our future. My definition of a revolution is redefining what activism means, because it can no longer just be the protesters out on the streets with the banners. That is just a stereotype, and that's just only one form of activism. My revolution includes millions, if not billions, of people, young people and older people all around the world who are affecting change in a multitude of ways, affecting change with their own skills and their own talents, whether that be art, whether that be films, whether that be their voice, whether that be, their jobs, their careers, their passions, their hobbies, making a change in their own daily lives. We all have to make an impact, and we all have to become our own activists and our own heroes now. It can't just be a few. The oceans is this hidden world that most of us will never see. It's a world that is filled with so many more creatures that you couldn't even imagine the colors and the shapes of them. Over a quarter of the marine species exist on these beautiful coral reefs. And it's just filled with such wonder and imagination. And it just shows you the beauty of this world. Scientists predict that by 2050, all coral reefs could be gone. This is absolutely devastating. We're going to lose millions and millions of species most of us have never even got to meet or see yet. This is a huge loss to this world, and we are hugely to blame and responsible for that. For me, it just pains me so incredibly, because we're not even aware of how much damage we're causing to this underwater world. And I think if more of us knew how much damage we're causing, I think more of us would do something about it. And I think if more of us knew that there's many, many different things that we can do, I think more of us would be empowered to do something. The oceans are, I just want to add, the oceans are incredibly important to life on land. It's not just this distant, far removed world underwater from us. If the oceans die, we die. It's all connected. If ocean acidification takes hold from climate change and decimates most marine mammals and coral reefs, well, there goes also the balance of climate change, because the oceans regulates our atmosphere, regulates carbon. It's two of the same issues. Climate change and the oceans are two sides of the same coin. And so these issues do matter, and it's been proven before. If there's mass extinction events also come from ocean acidification. So when we are decimating the oceans, we are decimating our own chances of survival. So we are incredibly connected to sharks, to whales, to the coral reefs. It does matter for our own survival. Rob Stewart has gone through an incredible journey around the world to try to see how these issues are connected, how climate change, how sharks, how oceans are all connected, and how our generation plays a pivotal role. And through this film, you get to see his journey. And I think it's really a human story. It's a human story of exploring where we are now and how are we going to get out of the mess that we've created. And so to me, I think that that's a story that all of us can relate to. It's not just Rob, it's the story of our generation. And so if I was to describe Rob, I would say, Rob is a storyteller. I mean, he is trying to share the story of our times. And he is also trying to create a new story. And I think for that, more of us can start to look at that new story and build towards that new story. And I think that's what we need to look at, need to create.